Ik samologiste tokiri oti agathos alleluia.
Oti στον αιώνα το έλεος αυτού, Hallelujah.
So this is what the dimitude of Islam. Hey, hello, my dear Muslim friends. Please come here. You're Muslims? I've ignored you, my dear friends. Please. Are you a Muslim, my dear friend? Please come. Please come here. I am a Christian, yes.
Just checking.
Sure.
I didn't know which camera crew you
No
were
problem.
with.
No problem. You are Tony, aren't you?
Yeah.
Tony. So Tony, hey, lovely. We do live streams on Thursdays.
You do what?
Live streams on YouTube.
Okay.
You can jump on live streams and we can engage. Are you an atheist yourself?
I'm a universalist.
Universalist. So you also approve of Islam.
I think it's got some wisdom in it. That doesn't mean I agree with everything it says.
So give me one wise thing that is there in the Quran.
The 5 pillars and the fitra.
The 5 pillars. Yeah,
The 5 pillars I think is good practice, and I think the fitra is a good psychological conception. It's a good model of human teleology, meaning and ethics.
Sure. Demonstrate right now. Please explain to me how are the 5 pillars good practice? Take the first pillar for instance. Tell me why is that a good practice?
Okay. They're good practice for the same reason that they're good practice in Christianity, because the Christians, I believe, also do the 5 pillars. So you've both got it right. I'm a universalist and I can applaud the Christians and the Muslims for doing the 5 pillars, because the 5 pillars are good practice.
Tony, one of the pillars is to acknowledge the Islamic Allah.
Well, to acknowledge God, you see, you
No,
will
the
take
Islamic
it,
Allah.
I know, because you will, with respect, and I appreciate the conversation, in my frame of thinking, I don't care that much what name you're giving to God specifically. I care that in your mind you're aiming towards God. What you conceive to be God.
Sure.
Which means that when, for example, you pray, Christians pray, they conceptualize a particular model of God, but it's still a monistic God, yeah? And it's still a God which requires certain conduct from you, to whom you show humility, etc., and so do the Muslims. So in that regard, you're doing the same thing, but you're using different language.
No, that's not true, Tony. So I appreciate our calm conversation, but I'd really like to engage with an important point I'm going to make right now.
Okay.
And to engage with this point, we need to go deeper. I'm not concerned about the names either as a cosmetic thing. I care about the substance. So as the substance, this is an important point I'm going to bring up right now is this.
Okay.
Jesus does not require Christians to kill non-Christians because they have disagreed with Christianity.
Sure.
The Islamic Allah, on the other hand, as part of his essential religion, wants the Muslims to destroy non-Muslims because they have rejected Islam as a religion. They clearly both are not equivalent morally. Would you like to be killed just because you're not a Muslim?
No. Okay.
And so, I'll just give me one moment.
I'm deliberately not interrupting because we're having so far a good conversation.
And then I'll let you
I'll
also.
try and hold back because I have a tendency to jump in.
Sure, no problem. So you won't want to be killed just because you're not a Muslim, but
Agreed.
Islam wants the Islamic Allah wants Muslims to kill you just because you're not a Muslim.
I believe there are a number of denominations of Islam that support that idea. I don't think every denomination of Islam will support that idea, but I oppose that idea.
Sure, but that is Quran. It's not from the denomination.
So which is why I said I see wisdom in there, but it doesn't mean I take it all to be literal or accurate.
No, the wisdom you said, Tony.
I said the 5 pillars and the fitra. Sure. I stand by those being good practice. Simultaneously, I don't think punishment of apostasy is good practice.
But bear in mind this: the Islamic Allah, as a fundamental aspect of his mindset, bear in mind it is the Islamic Allah's mindset which shows up through the religion. Yeah, the religion is a revelatory of his mindset, and so I can demonstrate.
I think it's revealing of the culture which has fostered that religion. I think religions are created by men but inspired by God. Whereas I think both you and most of the Muslims think the religion is literally God dictating. I think it's humans being inspired by God and then doing the best they can
No.
to rationalize the inspiration. So it's different kind of traffic.
Here is where, let me read this. This is important.
I would ask, did you get what I just said? Because it's a fundamental difference in how we approach these things.
It-
You think that both you and the Muslims, I think, believe, conservative Muslims, they think that God is literally like a human being making choices, dictating things in a book which are literally true. Yeah? And I get that. That's the standard model. I think what was really happening, and from a more esoteric tradition, which thinks that human beings are instead being inspired by God. Various individuals get particularly inspired. Then using their own minds, they write down the best approximation they can get to what inspired them. And because they're human and fallible, they don't get it 100% right, but they still get it pretty close. It's like
Tony.
if they hear a good piece of music and they sing it back.
Here is the problem, Tony.
Go ahead.
If a jihadist comes here, and he is going to chop my head off,
Yeah. Well, I'm on your side then.
but here is the problem. If he is going to chop my head off
Yeah.
based on his knowledge of the Quran,
Yeah.
would your view on how the Quran should be seen
Yeah.
help, theologically, help him give up on chopping my head off?
Yes, because he shouldn't take everything in it, every syllable as being
yeah.
literally true.
That's what you would like to comment to him,
Yes, that's what I
but
do
would he
comment.
take it seriously?
I'm not him. I can't. Sorry.
And
All
that
I
is
can-
exactly my point.
My effort would be in that direction.
Sure, but
when
my
I'm
point to you,
when I'm trying to communicate to that person that I think the prescription on apostasy is wrong, I'll simultaneously say I'm not damning the whole religion. I think the core teachings have value and wisdom.
but here's my point.
Yeah.
My point is the fundamental problem. I have 2 points to address. One is your
okay.
comment on the actual teaching,
Yeah.
and the other is your mindset right now.
Okay.
The fundamental problem I have with the mindset right now is
Yeah.
your view actually does not effectively influence anyone apart from you. And therefore, you can have your own take on how they should read the Quran, but that is not what Osama bin Laden is going to take. That is not what the Islamic jihadists here at the park are going to take seriously. The Islamic jihadists here are going to take their view of how they see the Quran seriously and do what they have to do. And to you, therefore, the choice must be whether you understand and appreciate Islam in the way they take it. You should see it in that way and then comment on whether you'd like to receive it or reject it. But you haven't got a choice on how they will take Islam. You really haven't got a choice. And that is
Can I
where
respond?
you can. But do you see? Please
I think
respond
I
to
get
this
your
point.
point.
Yeah.
With respect, I never claimed I had that kind of power. All I can do is all anybody I think can do is be responsible for your own choices. Do your best effort in what you think is the honest and best direction. I think the honest best thing to do is express to them, your 5 pillars are good, I think the picture is good, it works, they're common with other religions, so you don't need to be in conflict with other religions at that level, but you have other issues which are highly problematic, such as apostasy, such as in conservative Christianity, there are tracts in the Old Testament that are equally highly problematic, and I take issue with them. But I don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. I think the core teachings of Christianity and Islam and Buddhism and Judaism, etc., if you're looking for the good in there, I think there is divine inspiration in there, but I don't expect it not to be tarnished by human inaccuracies and human fallibility.
Sure, Tony. But here is where I need to comment. So I'd like to wrap up on the first part. On the first part, you made 3 points right now. On the first part, we would need to agree,
Yeah.
or at least agree to disagree. Whether in either case, very simply, your take on Islam is really irrelevant. No, it is really irrelevant. I'll finish and you'll see what I'm going. Is really irrelevant in relation to how Islam is taken by others. For you, it might be meaningful, but no one else would give a penny for how you would like them to take Islam. Islam is taken in a particular way historically. Your choice is on top of having your own view for yourself, when it comes to commenting on how Islam is taken in a public sphere, your choice is merely on whether you would approve or disapprove of how they take it.
I think we'll have to
Agree to disagree.
on-
No, I completely agree.
I mean,
And
I would point out that the universalists, I'm not the only universalist on the
No
planet,
problem.
okay?
But-
there are strands within Christianity, there are strands within Islam, which are far closer to where I'm at. I'm more at the Sufi end of the spectrum, I'm more at the Kabbalistic end of the spectrum,
Sure.
and the esoteric. There is a significant tradition of those people, and they tend to be more affiliated with philosophical traditions.
Sure.
So I'm not alone. However, more to the point, even if I was alone, that would not change the rightness or wrongness of what you do. Reality is not a popularity contest. If only one person thinks the world is round and everyone else thinks it's flat, you shouldn't argue to them, well, no one's going to believe you. Even if you're right, you should still speak truth as best you can.
Sure. Now, I'm going to agree to disagree on that. So I'm going to take.
You shouldn't try and speak truth as best you can. That's all
You
I'm saying.
haven't spoken truth. You have merely.
I've spoken what I believe.
Exactly,
as
which is
best
very
as I-
different from,
Yeah,
which is
I-
very, so we must distinguish between
Okay.
what you believe and how you would like the others to take versus what the truth is.
You're correct.
In relation to how Islam began and has continued, there is a particular way it has done. I completely agree. There is a narrow spectrum of Muslims who take a very different view. And here is where I want to go back to the other point I was going to make earlier. You said,
We need to agree on a foundational statement.
No, no.
Yeah, you were correct to correct me, so let me modify what I said.
but no,
I
I want to
think-
move on. I want to move on.
Oh, there's no point unless we agree that truth has value.
Sure, no, I
Do we
want to
agree
move
truth
on.
has
I
value?
want to go back because I'm going to agree to disagree on that. You've said what you've said. I've said what I've
And
said.
so I need to modify because you were correct.
Sure, you can quickly modify if you want,
Thank you very
and
much.
I'd like
I
to.
said you should speak truth as best you can. You pointed out my conception of truth may be wrong, so I need to modify it. I should try and speak the truth as I best understand it as well as I can.
Sure.
I may be right or wrong, so I may not be speaking the truth, but I'm speaking my best conception of truth.
Sure.
We should all try and do that, shouldn't we? Yes? We should all try and
Which is
speak
what
the
I
truth.
try to do.
Good, so we're both
But-
trying to speak
but-
the truth as best we can.
But whether you know it or not, maybe you don't understand the history of Islam. My dear friend, Islam has a long, long history, and your ideas of what your perception of truth is completely is off the ballpark, completely when it comes to understanding Islam. And I'll demonstrate that by going to this very important point. You said you're happy with the 5 pillars.
Yeah.
I'll read
Practice.
as practice. So I'm going to read this, and I'm going to ask if
In
you're.
spirit.
I'm going to ask if you're happy with this Islamic Allah. Because the Islamic Allah, you are assuming you want to pursue the truth. The Islamic Allah is recorded here. And so I'd like for you to focus on this and see if you agree with the belief in this particular
There'll be
Islamic.
loads of stuff I don't agree with.
But please, Tony, please listen.
Okay. Well, you're
The
going to
Quran-
demonstrate. I'm sure you're going to demonstrate
Sure.
the stuff I don't agree with.
In which case,
But I said the 5 pillars. Are you going to show me one of the 5 pillars, or are you going to show me something?
my dear
different?
friend, there is no Islam without the Quran. Whether
They
you are a
claim
Sufi,
that. I'm a universalist. I don't take it literally the way
I,
you guys do.
universalists don't get to dictate what
We
Islam
do.
is.
We are a tradition of thought, and we're
But
very
please
coherent.
listen. But please listen. Universalists don't get to dictate what the Quran is. The Quran is a historical document. Completely agreed, put together in a very complex, no one has a clue as to how it was put together, and there is plenty of research that is happening. But at the least, I can say that the Quran was put together perhaps before you and I were born.
Definitely before
And that
you
is,
and I were born.
and that is where,
Well, unless
and
you're
that is
very,
where,
very old.
unless we are very, very well, and we are not, and therefore it is clearly put together before you and I were born, and therefore,
It
and
says
therefore,
certain things as a point of
and
fact.
therefore, when it represents the Islamic Allah in a particular way, your choice is not to deny the fact that it is represented in a particular way.
I'm not denying it. It's
Sure.
in
In
the
which
book.
case, let's read
I'm
carefully.
not saying these are not facts, but
Sure.
they're in the book.
Can I please read now?
Fine, okay.
Let's
Give me
read.
facts.
Let's read if you agree with this particular Islamic Allah. I'm going to read a couple of ayats. Surah 9. Surah 9 At-Tawbah, ayat 111 to 114. I'm going to read a couple of details from here. I'm skipping a few statements, but ultimately, indeed, Allah, which is of course the Islamic Allah, Allah has purchased for the believers their lives
Yeah.
and their properties. I'm sorry, I'm turning this way because I'm trying to get the
Fine,
light.
you need the light.
Yeah, properties. For that, they will have paradise. They fight in the cause of Allah. So they kill and are killed. It is a true promise upon him in the Torah, the Islamic Torah, and the Gospel. Thank you very much. Thank you. In the Torah and the Gospel, the Islamic Torah, the Islamic Injil, and the Quran. And who is truer to his covenant than Allah? So it says the Islamic Allah wants them to fight and to kill and to be killed. That's a fundamental requirement which the Islamic Allah,
Fight and kill and be killed by who?
by the Muslims. It requires the Muslims to fight and kill and be killed.
Excuse me. I'll be 5 minutes.
Oh, no
5
problem.
seconds,
Yeah,
just
sorry,
1
sorry.
second,
I didn't
I'll
realize.
just tell the man.
No problem.
Hi, Liz, sorry,
Yeah.
I'm on camera now. Do you mind if I call you back? Is it really urgent? Okay, we'll do. Cheers. Okay, bye-bye. Sorry about that.
No problem, Tony. So your choice is this, Tony.
Yeah,
This came before you were born, before I was born.
yeah.
And so we can't deny this. It already existed. We can either say, look, I like this, I agree with this, or I disagree with this. That's your choice.
Okay.
So-
Am I allowed to respond now?
Yeah, but let me clarify. So this Islamic Allah wants the Muslims to kill and be killed.
Wants the Muslims to
Who-
kill and be killed?
Yeah,
Killing who?
non-Muslims.
Killing non-Muslims.
And it even defines a perimeter
Yeah.
or a parameter for who you would kill.
Yeah.
Essentially, these are non-Muslims,
Uh-huh.
and you're supposed to kill them. If I go to Ayat 114, and the request of forgiveness for Abraham for his father. So even if they are your father, and Ayat 113 says, relatives, it is not for the Prophet and those who believe to ask forgiveness for the polytheists, even if they were relatives. So the choice for you is simply this, and I'll let you respond to
I
that.
did understand it the
Yeah.
first 2 times you said.
Killing and being killed, even if your relatives, is the commandment from the Islamic Allah. Are you saying, you said earlier you are happy with the 5 pillars. Are you suggesting that you are happy with the pillar that the Muslims are supposed to take this particular nasty Islamic Allah seriously?
Can I answer?
Sure.
Okay. I could be wrong. That's not one of the 5 pillars, and that does not pertain to the fitra, which are the things I said I liked. You've read a particular passage. I didn't totally get what you read, but I don't dispute it's written there as a point of fact. Yeah?
Yeah.
Those words are definitely written in that physical book as a fact. Yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't get the full context, and I'd like to look at the context. But
Yeah.
either way, if when I looked at the context, it turned out effectively to be saying you should kill people who are non-Muslim,
Yep.
then yeah, I have an issue with that, and I don't think that's God speaking.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
So yeah, that's the choice I've made.
Sure.
On that particular point, which is not one of the 5 pillars, it doesn't pertain to the fitra.
Yeah.
On that particular point, I think they have misinterpreted the inspiration of God.
Sure. Let's look at the 5 pillars. The 5 pillars of the Islamic faith: Shahada, profession of faith.
Yep.
So, what do they have faith in?
A monistic God.
No, in this particular one, who commands that they Muslims have to kill and be killed, kill the non-Muslims, and while attempting to kill the non-Muslims, even be allowed to be killed, i.e., be willing to be suicide bombers.
So,
But let me finish, please. Let me
Well,
finish.
I don't-
So let me finish, Tony. The 5 pillars is profession of faith in that evil, monstrous Islamic Allah. Another pillar of the 5 pillars is Salah, which is praying.
Yeah.
Praying to who? Not praying to your conception of God, but praying to this Islamic Allah who has asked them to kill. Zakat. Zakat is alms giving, which is charity.
Yeah.
Charity to who? Charity that you give out of what you have gathered after destroying the non-Muslims, collected things from them and distributing that amongst.
Excuse me. Wait. Excuse me. I think it would be fair if you're going to do the 5 pillars to go through them one by one,
Sure.
rather than giving all 5.
No problem. Yeah, let's begin with
Pick
Shahada.
whichever one you want to start with.
Yeah, so you tell me, are you happy with someone saying, look, I profess faith on a monstrous, murderous, evil person called the Islamic Allah. Are you happy with that profession of faith?
At this point, I'd have to say to anyone watching this, you will notice that's a slightly loaded question, yeah?
So this is the only Islamic
I
Allah.
know, well, what you're saying is, if I accept your interpretation, am I happy? No, of course I'm not happy with anybody embracing a horrible, evil God.
Yes.
No, I'm not. But you know that I don't accept your interpretation that Allah, everything that comes through the Quran is horrible. I think it needs contextualizing, and you've got to realize there's problems in it. Okay? So when I
Tony.
see the first pillar, what they are doing is making a profession of faith and commitment to a monistic deity, yeah, who endows their life with meaning and purpose and ethics, and they will try and adopt good practice to that end. I applaud it to that extent. To the extent that it might lead them to then go off and kill apostates or randomly kill people, I think they're reading it wrong and misconstruing it. Okay?
No, I read from Surah 9,
Yeah,
passage ayat 111 to 114.
sure.
Do you know this passage or not?
Well, I'm becoming more familiar with it.
When you say more familiar,
I don't.
I'm asking
I've
you,
read-
do you know this or not?
Okay. I've read the first 100 pages of the Quran, okay, specifically. I've got a terrible memory though, but I simulate the data. I've debated this a lot with other people. Whether or not I've literally memorized it, I'm happy to acknowledge that you're reading it accurately now, I assume. And I'm giving you my interpretation of how I, as a universalist, would interpret that. You're interpreting it as literally as a lot of Muslims would, and then I think it's flawed and problematic.
No, that's the very idea of reading. When you read, unless you read Osama bin Laden saying go kill as go kill, you will be doing a massive disservice. For example, if you find a note here that says, hey look, jihadi A, B, C, D, E, we're going to go there and kill that gentleman today. If you are going to be any meaningful participant in our society, if you take that note, are you going to stand there and say, oh yeah, it says kill, but I'm going, as a universalist, I'm going to say someone is going to get a bunch of flowers and go provide that bunch of flowers to someone else. Is that what you would do? Or would you say, hey look, I
don't know
might
where the
have...
flowers came in. Just carry on.
My point is, Tony, very simply, if you have to help fellow human beings, when there is a material which says go kill, you better read
Then I
that.
oppose that.
Exactly.
But
And so we went through
Hang on,
Sal.
wait. It's built into, you seem to be arguing as a
Yeah.
literalist, which is, I've either got to accept everything in this book as being 100% accurate, or I've got to throw it out.
That's-
Now, specifically, I do not believe that. I believe, it's like if I read Principia Mathematica, if I read something by, say, Newtonian physics, yeah? If I read Newton's book on physics, there's a massive amount of profound and insightful stuff there that helped to create the Enlightenment. Nonetheless, it's got some stuff wrong, okay? It's not like I can genuinely cherry pick for the good stuff and understand the core ideas are there which are excellent, but they need further refining, and they were further refined by Einstein, etc.
Tony,
And I
I'll
look
keep
at
this
these
simple.
books, and wait, so your viewers understand where I'm coming from. I see
Where
these
you are
books-
coming from,
well,
Tony?
if we're comparing views, I see these books as being like Newton's work on physics, Newtonian physics. They are works in progress, they move you forward, but they're not perfect, and they're there to be further refined through discussions such as this. Whereas your traditional Muslims, your conservative Muslims, conservative Christians, etc., they are more aligned to the idea that this book is sacrosanct, it's not a work in progress, it's finished and it's perfect.
Sure.
This is where we
Can we-
fundamentally disagree.
I think you fundamentally misunderstand the topic at hand. The topic at hand is not whether you are going to invent a new version of Islam.
I'm not, it already exists.
But please, what already exists existed even before you were born, and therefore, however you want to whitewash, the fellows here who are Muslims don't like that white.
I'm not
Tony,
whitewashing.
please listen.
Well,
But please, you need to listen. I heard you. You now need to listen. Please. Can we at least keep it really simple and say, if someone professes faith towards towards the Islamic Allah recorded in Surah At-Tawbah, which you maybe are not familiar with,
you mean
Surah.
this bit?
Say again.
Do you mean this bit here?
Shahada is profession of faith.
Fine.
When it says Shahada and when it says profession of faith, it's not profession of faith towards some random deity, but it is profession of faith towards the Islamic Allah.
I know you believe that, but I don't.
I'm not asking.
Universalists don't. I'm just saying.
I'm not asking.
You're now
Can we?
engaged. You're
Can
now
we?
engaged in a discussion with somebody from a different tradition
I understand,
to you.
and
So
that is
now
where the question to you.
The job is to
The
weigh
question.
the merits of our
Sure.
traditions.
No.
Yes.
I am really not discussing universalism right now. And this is why I want you to.
Which of the two views ends up
I
being
want
your
want you to focus on the particular question I have, and I think if you,
I'm not
I'm
ducking
sure
it.
you are. I'm not
just-
saying you're deliberately
I'm-
ducking.
I'm
I think you're
context-
misunderstanding.
I promise
Please
you,
let me
I'm
clarify.
contextualizing your
Sure,
question.
Tony. No,
Ask it
please.
again.
I have a particular question.
Go on.
Do we agree
Yeah.
that if anyone confesses, if anyone, I'm not talking about you.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about people of your mindset. Do we agree that if anyone confesses, i.e., Shahada, does a Shahada, pledging allegiance to the Islamic Allah revealed in Surah At-Tawbah, Ayah 111 to 114, which has asked the Muslims to kill non-Muslims, do we at least agree
Yeah.
that Shahada we don't approve of, we don't
Yeah. I
entertain?
already said I don't.
Good. And
Was
therefore,
that
you,
not clear? No, seriously.
and therefore, can
Hang
we
on,
now?
Wait. It's on camera.
Yeah,
So check it back.
sure.
I already thought I made it very clear that I disapprove of punishment of apostates.
No, Shahada.
Let me finish. Two things I said I clearly disapproved of: punishment of apostates and this this prescription to violence.
Sure, but
I
I've
disapprove
moved
of
on.
both. Was that clear?
That was clear.
Good.
But now I made a point which I think you have not understood because you're not focusing on what I'm saying.
Okay.
I completely understand that you disapprove of Surah Tawbah, Ayah 111.
If that's what they say, then yes, I do.
Yes, you disapprove of this.
If that's an
And
accurate
now,
representation of what they
sure.
say. Fine.
Now, I want us both to take the next step, and that is where I'd like you to focus.
Go ahead.
So, you and I disapprove of that particular Islamic Allah. We disapprove of that.
Yeah.
And so, now can we agree? Anyone who pledges allegiance to that Islamic Allah, which is what Muslims do, we disapprove of. In other words, the first of the 5 pillars that we have discussed so far is pledging allegiance, having faith in this Islamic Allah, and that we don't like. Can we agree?
Yeah, kind of. Let me reframe it so that I like it when people give clear answers. So I'll give you a yes, but now let me explain the yes because it's a slightly different context. My answer is yes. What you are saying is, do we disagree with people who take every syllable in the command to be literally true? That effectively is what you're asking me. And yeah, I think they're making a mistake.
Yes.
If you are taking, I totally think that. And I made that clear.
Yeah, so
if
Shahada-
you take every syllable in the Quran to be literal, I think you are failing to understand the wealth of wisdom that's in there because there are also problematic elements. The same as if I think you take the whole of the Old Testament totally literally.
I'll come to
you
the
will have
Bible
the
later.
same
No,
problem.
I'd like, and here is where.
You may. That's my position.
Sure,
is that
but-
in
but-
both
but-
of these traditions.
No, don't.
If you take it, I'm allowed to qualify my position. In both of these traditions, if you sift through the books and you take every prescription literally, you will find problematic things. When you do that, you can either pretend they're not there, or you can decide the book is rubbish and get rid of it, or you can decide that you're going to have to contextualize it a bit more and separate the wheat from the chaff. I'm doing number 3.
I have a suspicion. I hear what you're
Is that
saying.
coherent? I may be wrong, but it's not
You are.
Okay, I may be wrong, but it's not an incoherent or dishonest position, yeah?
You would be dishonest when you.
If you think I'm being dishonest, we can't talk. I'm trying
No,
to
I'll
be
clarify. I'll clarify.
Okay.
I know you're trying, and you may not even know that you're dishonest, and that's why I want to clarify. What I'd like to comment to you, Tony,
Yeah.
I respect you.
Okay,
I've
thank
heard
you.
you.
Thank you.
I think you're trying to be sincere.
Thank you.
That I really appreciate. But the main problem that I find with you
Yeah.
is
Don't worry about it. He's leaving.
yeah,
It's just a random, whatever.
don't. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Carry
Tony.
on.
So my problem, Tony, with you. So, we had a little bit of confusion as to whether we were discussing your viewpoint or the Quranic viewpoint. I was discussing on the Quran. I was discussing. Now, the main problem I have with you is that you don't know At-Tawbah. You don't know Surah At-Tawbah. In other words, if I can summarize, the main problem is that you are taking positions without knowledge. That's not a good thing to do. If I could ask you, if you have read Surah Al-Baqarah, Surah 2, you said you've read the first 100
I read the
pages.
first 100 pages.
Yeah, which I should include Surah Al-Baqarah,
Okay.
Surah 2, Surah Al-Baqarah.
Yeah.
If I give you some details from Surah Al-Baqarah,
Yeah.
did you learn anything good from Surah Al-Baqarah?
I don't know the specific one you're talking about.
Anything. Did you learn anything good in
In
Surah
the first 100
Al-Baqarah?
pages,
Yeah, in Surah
I
Al-Baqarah.
found there was some really positive prescriptions in there.
Like what?
There were appeals to charity, there were appeals to good conduct, there were appeals to humility, there were appeals to not, for example, praying in public to be seen to be praying, to not be overt about your religion, but to do it with humility, to do it as an end in itself, to love God as an end in himself, not for what you're going to get out of it. These are similar prescriptions I would notice in other traditions, and I approve of those insights, and they are in there, I believe. That's my memory.
Tony, let me. Okay.
It's my
Sorry.
honest memory.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Let me ask you this, Surah, Tony. Sorry, and you need to be honest. This is where this is where I said you are dishonest. I know you're trying to, but now you really need to.
We need to be clear on one thing. I am not consciously lying.
I completely understand.
Okay, that's my definition of honesty. Is if I might people be unconsciously mistaken, but I'm not consciously lying.
Can I please comment to you? My definition is slightly different, and my definition is something like this. If you ask me something about something which I know I don't know much, I would first of all qualify and say, look, I don't know much. I really shouldn't be commenting. That's where I'll begin. But that I'm not seeing in you. That's my main problem, and that's why I said you're dishonest. I'm not saying. Surah Al-Baqarah, if I could ask you this one little thing. Surah Al-Baqarah is one of the biggest chapters in the Quran. Do you know the rough summary, the essential points of Surah Al-Baqarah? If I were to tell you, please summarize Surah Al-Baqarah in a couple of statements, would you know what points you need to cover?
Go ahead and tell me what your summary
would
be.
Ultimately, Surah Al-Baqarah is about defining who an unbeliever is, i.e. who a non-Muslim is, and when you would attack the non-believer, and how you would do that. While doing that, it also recommends, by the way, that you can do this, do that in the process. But the crux of Surah Al-Baqarah is about defining who the idolaters, the unbelievers, the non-Muslims are. For instance, Surah Al-Baqarah speaks about, if you know Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat 216 to 217.
To be honest, I've already got your point.
Sure. But do you know these things?
There is a part of the Quran which identifies who are non-Muslims. That's synopsis of what you're saying, yeah?
No, but Surah Al-Baqarah is about how to destroy them.
Yeah, it's about both things. It identifies who they are.
And
then it identifies
destroys.
how you should handle them. Yeah?
Which is that you destroy them.
Got it, that's easy.
Sure. So. Is that a good? And then it goes on to give other details of how you would worship that Islamic Allah who wants you to identify and destroy the non-Muslims. Right. That's Surah Al-Baqarah. That Islamic Allah, do you respect?
No.
And Shahada to that Islamic Allah.
Hang on. These are if statements. If your representation of that is accurate, do I respect what you do? Do I support what you just said? No.
Sure. My representation...
That predicates on you giving an accurate contextualization of this.
But do you have any contrary view? If I read, I can read for you.
I'd have to sit down, go through the context of the particular thing. Yeah. Now I want to take your point.
But here is the point.
Let me concede something in your favor. You are probably going to argue that I'm not nearly as factually aware of the context.
Exactly. That is my point.
Right. This is true.
Yep. That's exactly my point.
Okay. I'm very well aware of the difference between facts and values, okay? This is Hume, he's a philosopher, a way of looking at things. Just because somebody has got loads of facts at their disposal does not mean they're evaluating the facts very well, okay? The primary skill, I think, is in evaluation, yeah? So it helps to have a wealth of facts, but it's not primarily essential. A practical example of this is if you debate a flat earther. If you go and try and debate a flat earther, and I've done it here, you will find endless smoke screens where they will go, oh, you haven't read this book, you haven't read that book, you're not aware of that scholar, yeah? And they will correctly show you have virtually no facts at your fingertips when you're having the discussion relative to them. Nonetheless, if you're good at analytical thinking and using inference and these tools, you can cut that Gordian knot without needing too many facts. You can just use Occam's razor logic. Now, I'm applying that same kind of principle here. So although I concede I haven't memorized all the facts or anything like that, I believe logically I've looked through where there are obvious contradictions and I'm trying to square those contradictions.
Tony, now you're being either dishonest. I don't know what you're doing right now. Please hear me out.
Okay.
Okay. You can't apply reason when you don't have facts. Reason is applied on top of.
Then we disagree. Sorry, this
Please,
is philosophy. Reason is a tool.
Please listen to me. Reason is a tool applied on facts. On facts to arrive at further inferences.
Correct.
But facts are what you fundamentally begin your process of evaluation with.
Agree.
If you don't even have facts, you are as useless as anyone else.
So, I didn't say I have no facts. I said I don't need an infinite plethora of facts when I debate someone like a flat earther. Once I've got the rudimentary facts that they get, there are certain rudimentary facts you get from them where you can instantly use inference to destroy their position. I don't need too many facts. All I need to know from them are about 3 statements which are contradictory and you can kick through. So in Occam's razor, in terms of efficiency, I don't want to spend hours and hours reading every syllable of everything a flat earth can throw me. It's a waste of time.
You have really now, you're doing massive injustice. No one said that you need to know everything.
So I don't need to read the whole of the Quran and memorize it, or the whole of the Bible, to notice if 2 things which are said are contradictory.
Tony, you might please, if you give a hearing, you might understand what I'm saying.
What?
If you remember carefully our discussion, when I began with the Surah Al-Baqarah, maybe 5 minutes ago, the question wasn't that whether you remember all of it. That's not what I asked. I asked you if you know a summary of it. Do you know the salient points, the crux of it? That's what I care about. When you don't know the crux, you can't argue.
But you see how easy it was for us to get to the crux. You gave me the crux. That's how I get facts. So you've told me what it said.
Yes.
I've said,
so you tell me.
This was really quick.
Sure.
You see? You go, here are some facts.
And therefore,
I go, let's accept that those may
no
be
problem.
facts. Now let's rationally run them through the mill.
Now,
and my conclusion is, no, I don't approve of that.
Good.
See how quick it
so
was?
No, it wasn't
really
you.
quick.
You went on a detour after that, but that's fine.
I just
not
used
a problem.
that technique. You
not
gave
a problem.
me something, I said, if this is a fact, my evaluation is X.
No problem.
And we're done.
So we both agree, Shahada towards the Islamic Allah of Surah At-Tawbah is evil.
No.
Shahada towards, please let me, let me finish. Shahada towards the Islamic Allah of Surah Al-Baqarah is evil. We both agree. I'm assuming.
By Surah Al-Baqarah, you mean if they are asserting faith in a God who prescribes that kind of behavior, then that would be wrong.
Which they are.
They're not all doing that.
Okay. Let's read.
Okay. You are insisting that all of them have to. I've already said I don't think this stuff should be taken as literally as you're taking it, or they're taking it.
I'm not asking you how you take, and this is where you're misunderstanding. I am going to read this, and I want you to see if you agree with this, not how you would like to take this.
It's not how I like to take it. I understand what it says as a point of fact.
But you didn't understand.
I've already said
you didn't understand. Let's read.
I don't think it is all sacrosanct. So that's not my claim. You're correct. There are things wrong in the book. You're correct. Well done. We can just cut short. You are absolutely correct that there is a lot of problematic stuff in the Quran.
So Surah Al-Baqarah.
I just think simultaneously there is a whole chunk of stuff in the Quran which is even more core to the Quran, which is positive.
Do you know about
contradictory statements?
Tony, here is a problem. Do you know how the Islamic history began according to the Quran?
Do we have to do the whole history of the Quran?
No, not the whole. Just give me a rough, 1 minute. Do you know or not?
It's about 1,500 years ago, and it's Muhammad, and he gathers together tribes, and he ends up becoming a very, very powerful political influence, and he ends up instigating Islam. And
Do you know of this thing
of
called?
the time, he was probably an improvement for what was going before, for the
Do you-
culture and for the time. I believe
Do you know?
he
Do
was
you
a
know of this?
positive of the
Do you
time.
know of this thing called Masjid al Haram?
Carry on.
Do you know or not?
I don't know. Carry on. Not by that name, but I may know it, just not by that name.
Masjid al Haram.
What's the principle? What's the point?
This is a fundamental fact.
Well, that's the word. So what's the fact? What is that word expressing?
The fact right now is that you don't know one of the building blocks of Islam. That's
I
the
may
fact.
know it, but not by that name. So what's the fact? What does it mean?
Do you know of any historical place in which around which Islam's conflicts began?
Mecca, but it wasn't originally Mecca. Where was it? I know where you mean. My memory's not good, but I know where you mean.
You know, about let's say in Mecca, whatever was called Mecca.
It actually wasn't Mecca.
You know, whatever was called Mecca, it's called Mecca, but
Yeah,
what does that refer to is a huge question. But in Mecca, there is a religious structure called Masjid al Haram.
Okay.
That is the sort of the center of the dynamic. Do you know about this or not?
Not a huge amount, because I don't consider it that important.
Do you know anything about this or not?
Some.
Like what?
Well,
What do you know?
I just told you 1,500 years ago, Muhammad becomes a rising political force, and he introduces Islam as a creed, and it is followed, and it seems, I think, to improve
I'm
the
talking
quality
about
of
the
life.
conflict. Do you know about the conflict with the only religious structure that is recorded by name in the Quran, which is a primary thing that you need to understand for you to evaluate Islam properly? Do you know this or not?
If you mean there were wars, then I believe there were wars.
Do you know about this or not, Tony? Be on. This is why I'd like you to be honest.
I simply have a synopsis. My synopsis of it is, yes, there were conflict and wars, but my area of interest is in the quality of the ethical and teleological prescription and the metaphysical validity of the creed. The historical background that came to that conclusion is utterly secondary to me evaluating the rational and the inferential logic of the thing.
So if you see someone here killing someone else, without having any clue as to who was who, what the motivations were.
I'd obviously need to know those things, but I don't.
Yeah,
need
so you
to
need to know.
But I don't need to know their NHS number, the name of their parents, what country they had previous. I could know there are a huge number of facts about that person's backstory that are fairly irrelevant to me adjudicating that specific interaction.
Tony.
I do need to know their motive and the context of the attack.
Tony.
I don't need to know their life story.
Sure.
Do
Completely.
I? Do I?
You don't have to.
Good. Well,
And-
this is a similar situation.
No, it isn't.
I don't know. To me, it is.
Please listen.
No, to me, it is.
I'm starting to respond. To understand the motivation of how Islam began, you need to know what Masjid al-Haram is. If you don't know the context around it, who owned it, who took over it,
Yeah.
why did they take over it, on what basis did they mobilize people to take over? If you did not know this, you
Very
would not.
strange that you believe this.
It's very strange that I believe that you need to know the fundamentals of
I think it's very strange that you might believe that if the concept of the fitra, that in order for me to draw some kind of evaluation of the veracity of the fitra,
No,
I need
motivation.
to know. I need to know. Forget the motivation. As an idea in and of itself, I'm evaluating the idea. Like if I want to evaluate does 2 + 2 = 4, I don't need to know the backstory of the mathematicians who got there.
Are you kidding
give
me
the-
right now?
I'm totally serious. Okay.
Muhammad killed a number of people. To know
fine.
if it was good or bad, do you not need to know why he thought he killed? What is
I'm
motivation?
evaluating the fitra.
Sure. In terms of the Quran, at the origin, I'd like to comment to you, Tony. So far I am happy. I was happy. In the last 5 minutes, I'm not happy. And I'm going to comment to you.
Because you want to draw me into a history lesson when I'm evaluating principles. And the principles will be the same no matter what the history was. At the end of the day, whatever that history was, which we could spend an infinite amount of time discussing, they came up with the idea, we think you have an inbuilt spiritual compass. That's the idea I'm interested in evaluating. you guys will spend. Sorry, that's.
Are you happy with the inbuilt spiritual compass of Osama bin Laden?
I am happy with the notion that human
He had an
beings,
inbuilt spiritual compass. Are you happy with that?
I think
Osama bin
I'm
Laden.
happy with the idea that all human beings have an inbuilt spiritual compass.
Listen to my question,
Can I
please.
finish? I heard
Are
your
you
question.
happy? No, I want you to answer the
Your
one question
was,
I'm asking.
Am I happy with the idea that Osama bin Laden had an inbuilt spiritual
No,
compass?
no.
That was your question.
No.
Play it back. That was his question.
No.
Play it back. That
No.
was his question.
Okay. If you play it back, you would find something else, and therefore,
What was
please
your
listen.
Okay, ask again.
Are you happy with the compass of Osama bin
Oh,
Laden?
that's a different question.
Yeah, that's exactly what I asked,
No,
which you didn't hear.
When you play the tape back, you will see what he asked.
Don't worry, it's on tape, so
Either
we can
way,
check it out.
good. So you,
Tell me, are you happy?
No.
He had a spiritual
he
compass.
had
Are
a
you happy with
spiritual
it?
compass. Yeah, I'm totally happy with Osama bin Laden's spiritual compass.
Okay, so in that case,
Can I finish?
You have finished. What
No, I
else is
haven't
there?
finished. I'll tell you when
You're
it's
happy with Osama bin Laden's spiritual compass?
That was the beginning of a sentence. That wasn't the ending.
Okay.
I am happy
Yeah.
with my understanding of the fitra. I am happy that everybody has a spiritual
Also,
compass.
talk about Osama bin Laden, please.
So
Are
I'm
you
going
happy?
I'm going to, if you let someone finish a sentence, we will get there. Okay? I am happy that everybody, including Osama bin Laden, has a spiritual compass, and that compass innately heads towards true north, true spiritual north. But Osama bin Laden made some very bad decisions as to how to align with it, and he failed to align with it. So yes, he had a compass. Like any compass anybody carries will point north, always. However, some people will read the compass well and travel a good journey, and some people read it badly and not. He read his compass badly, but he had a compass, because we all do. Because in Islam and in other religions, there is implicit belief that we are born not as blank slates, but with a hardwired
Tony, please
nature
don't go on.
for God.
I
I'm
asked.
not. I'm
you're
being
you're
very
really.
clear.
You're
I'm
no
being
real.
very
Look,
clear.
can I please comment to you very simply the difference between where you are heading and where Bin Laden headed.
Do you think I just approved of his behaviour? Because I didn't. I condemned his behaviour.
Do you think I finished my point?
Fine, but you do understand I condemned his behaviour?
I heard.
Yes? Good.
I heard.
So we agree I condemned him, yes?
But I need to speak right now to make my point.
Okay, but I need to know that I communicated that I condemn Osama bin Laden, yes?
So you have said that he has done terrible things.
Thank you.
And that is where I'd like to now summarize in a quick manner. You don't know the Quran, he knew the Quran.
Yeah.
And therefore you approve of the Quran when you don't know. He followed the Quran when he knew the Quran. And so we can both agree Osama bin Laden's understanding is evil. And we both
No,
agree,
his choices were evil. That's not the same as your understanding.
Tony, you don't know the Quran, that's a simple truth. For those who watch, it'll be clear so far. You do not know the Quran.
I have supported
Sure.
the 5 pillars and the fitra.
Now you're going
and
much.
I have put it that they are okay in the same way that I think in say in Judaism, the core teaching is the 10 Commandments. Yeah, you could take the whole book, but if you're going to triage what's really important in the Old Testament, probably the single most important event is the prescription handed down by God of the law in the 10 Commandments.
And
yeah?
what is the crux
Okay.
of it? What is the crux of the 10 Commandments?
Well, we can come back to that in a second.
No, this is
Why do
important.
we have to go wait? Now, if we go to the New Testament,
Tony,
if
can
we
I-
go to the New Testament,
Yeah.
the crux of the teaching. Okay, if we go to the New Testament, the crux of the teaching is in, I think, the Sermon on the Mount. Yeah, this is where everything is distilled down to the essence of the teaching. The Sermon on the Mount in the New Testament, 10 Commandments in the Old Testament. I take it that the essence of the Islamic teaching that has validity distills down to the 5 pillars and the fitra and some other ideas as well, yeah? So the other ideas which you are attacking, I would also attack, but I don't take them to be the core
Tony,
tenet.
we are returning back to the same confusion over and over again because you said you can think.
Hi, how you doing?
Tony,
I
you
think
said
you're... Sorry.
you said you are able to think properly, but now I am going to reconsider even that because you are calling the points that I am bringing up as other ideas when I have clearly demonstrated that what I read is essential characteristic of the Islamic Allah,
If
and therefore
you take
I'll
the
finish
Quran literally.
Yes, yeah, which
But
is
I
what
don't.
do you take the Quran literally?
Well, Some parts are literal, some is metaphorical.
Yeah, but
A
do you
lot of it
take
is
the context?
contextual.
Thank you.
Now, just a minute, let me answer the question. If you ask me the question, you have to give me the decency to answer it. Parts of most scriptures is contextual, some is literal, some is metaphorical, and some is embedded in the language. So it's not a question of whether it's literal or otherwise. Scriptures, whether it's Quran, Jewish scriptures, or the Bible, there has to be context to it.
Yeah, cool. Let me read this.
Huh?
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me
Tony, you're right.
What
let
he
me.
just said, he'll know the Quran much better than I will.
You don't know the Quran, Tony,
I know a bit. He'll know
and therefore
some.
anyone would know the Quran much better than you.
By
What is the
evaluation,
topic, sorry?
I think is on
Let me
What
let's
is the
read.
topic of the conversation?
No, let's read this.
No, I'm just
Surah
trying to
9.
understand the topic.
Surah 9.
What is the topic?
You contextualize.
Wait. He's asked the
No,
topic.
Tony, one second.
He's
No,
asked
no,
the
no,
I'm
no.
asking a question. What is the topic?
The topic is, I am saying that I think I support the Quran insofar as the 5 pillars.
Right.
And the fitra, I think there's
Okay,
wisdom
sure.
in this.
Yeah.
And that there is wisdom within the Quran. I, as a universalist, don't think that every aspect of the Quran is accurate. I think it's also contaminated with some bad ideas. So it's a mixture of good core ideas with some bad ideas. And I take
It's a fair comment.
yeah, and I take the Old Testament and other religions to be seen in the same light. They're not all 100% sacrosanct, but they share core common denominators, which are the foundational important tenets. Yeah?
Now,
What is your view on that?
No, to you said you can read literally or contextualize it and so on. Please help us understand what this says. Surah 9, Ayah 111. Allah has purchased for the believers their lives and their properties. For that they will have paradise. They fight in the cause of Allah. So they kill and are killed. It is a true promise upon him in the Islamic Torah and the Islamic Injil and the Quran. And then it goes on in Ayat 113. It is not for the Prophet and those who have believed to ask forgiveness for the polytheists, even if they were relatives. And Surah, the same, one ayat later, and the request of forgiveness of Abraham for his father was only because of a promise he had made to him. So now please explain to me, when it says kill, what does it mean?
Kill means to kill.
Did you hear this?
Yeah, kill means to kill.
Yeah, and I condemned it.
Yeah, but did you hear your ideas of contextualizing some are metaphorical was useless in this? Do you understand? Did you understand this?
Well,
He
can we have a
reads.
are we allowed to have a conversation?
No, I want
Oh,
to.
okay.
no,
So you don't want to have a conversation?
No, one
I
second.
think let's try and
no.
genuinely
Can we have a
Let's
conversation?
try and
Yeah,
genuinely have a
the
conversation.
genuine conversation, the way it works is that
Tell
I'm
me how it works. Tell me
the
how.
way it works
Yes.
is we were in the middle of a conversation. You came in, you said he made a fair point, and I'm just trying to clarify that whatever fair point you thought he was making is not making him change his mind on the passage that I've read earlier, and therefore
I've condemned that
Yes.
passage.
Do you
That's not
condemn this part of the Quran?
If he's representing accurately,
Do you-
I condemn it.
Do you condemn that part of the Quran?
Just a minute. First of all, I'm a Muslim.
I know. Do you condemn that part of the
Are we
Quran?
having a conversation?
We are.
Are we having a conversation?
Yeah, we are. But the
Are
point.
we having a conversation?
But
Yes.
listen,
If we're having a conversation,
I didn't say yes. Please listen. We were having a conversation.
am I not welcome?
I'd like,
If I'm not welcome,
I
I'll
think-
walk away.
I'd-
If
I'd-
I'm welcome,
personally, I'd
then we
like
can
to
have a
know.
conversation.
I'd like to
The way it could work is if you listen, because you've interjected me multiple times,
Right,
you
sorry.
might learn.
let him.
Okay,
sure.
It's his camera crew.
So
it's his-
you have interjected. I'm
Yeah, but
happy.
his camera is in speakers. Go on.
I know, but
Why are you complaining?
Sorry?
Let's
If
try
I'm
and-
not welcome,
Why are
I'll
you
walk away. If we're having a conversation, we're welcome to have a conversation.
Sure.
It's a lovely night.
In that
we can
case-
have a conversation.
Yeah, if you let me speak,
Go on,
which
my
is how a
friends.
conversation happens.
Yes. Yes. Good. Go
So
on.
he was hoping, Tony was hoping,
Yes.
somehow you and he were on the same page because some passages were to be read literally, some other passages were not to be read literally.
Metaphorically. Or they're ju- or
And
they're
I just
inaccurate.
I just want to be clear.
Right.
The Surah 111 is clearly stating that the non-Muslims that it is referring to here ought to be killed.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, is that clear?
Okay.
Are you happy with that idea? You agree that that is the case?
If you can ask,
Are you?
if you ask a question, can we answer it? I have said for the fourth time, I've said I'm not happy with it. Is that
Sure.
really clear?
Are you happy with
You get
this?
I'm not happy with that.
Are you happy with this?
I have the permission to answer.
Yeah, you have. I've stopped. Yeah. Are you happy with this?
First of all, I'm a Muslim and I accept what the Quran says. Now, I want to have a conversation now.
You know you're blocking your own camera.
I want to have a conversation now on the God, same God of the Old Testament, the God of the New Testament, and the God of Islam. And that God, if you look at all those, you will see that God also represents violence.
Yeah.
No, we'll go anywhere else.
No,
We will go
I'm
anywhere.
talking about
So
violence.
is he going to?
Can we have a conversation about that?
Sure. We can.
Are you worried about that conversation?
I am really not. Hey, look, I am a Christian.
Right.
Unlike you, a Muslim, with all sorts of jihadis all over the place, I am a Christian.
Right.
There is no such thing called a Christian jihadi who is going around chopping other
That's
people's
fine,
heads off.
yes, yeah.
And therefore,
in fairness to him,
and therefore,
he did ask a question. It's fair that you ask if you would approve of
exactly.
I take your point
It's
about
very
there being-
obvious. I said before,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
don't know how else to say it. Maybe I can write it down.
Sure.
I'll get a blackboard and write it down.
He
quoted
agrees.
He quoted a verse
Yeah.
that talks about fighting
Yeah.
in the cause of Allah.
Yeah.
You fight, you are killed,
Yeah.
and you kill. Now,
So-
I'm simply saying, in terms of a conversation, the God of the Torah, the
Yeah.
God of the Bible, and the God of the Quran, if we look at that God, we will see a history that God exhibits historically violence.
I agree
Sure.
with you.
Right. Now, that God has power
Yeah.
over nature.
You don't
We
need to-
see.
you don't need to shout.
Okay, yeah.
that's what people
I
do
wanna
in the.
talk.
I'm a man.
I know.
Hey,
And
don't.
as a man, I don't need to be feminized in my conversation.
I'm not trying to feminize you.
Yeah,
I'm just saying I can hear you.
But Tony, can we?
Would you rather me step back?
No.
No,
So if I
don't
step
gaslight. Don't gaslight. The problem
Sorry,
is
I'm
pointing
not-
out to.
I'm not-
No, but I'm saying I'm
Is-
a man, and I refuse to be feminized.
Yeah,
not
sure.
trying to be rude.
But that's
I'm
not.
not going to talk like a female in order to.
Don't. Hey, you may have. So Tony, can we? Let's ignore him for a moment.
The conflict.
Sure,
and just
sure.
Talk, if we all talk a bit lower and have a conversation. That's all
Absolutely.
I know.
Tony, can we please at least agree before I engage with this gentleman?
Yeah.
Can we at least agree
Yeah.
that even though you wanted to see if there was an opportunity
Yeah.
that passage could be something else apart from killing the unbelievers, he has come in to provide you good clarification, and he is willing to say that no, that actually deals with violence, and therefore he wants to have a wider conversation right now, which I'm prepared to have. Can we at least agree that Islamic Allah, which is his Islamic Allah, you don't take nicely, and therefore the Shahada towards that Islamic Allah is evil? We agree.
I believe the representation of the passage that you gave me, I condemn. Let me finish.
He also gave the
Let
same.
me finish. Viewers can decide. Whereas I think, I'm trying to keep it together here, the representation of the passage you gave, I think slightly differed because you were framing it that these are people who are soldiers in a time of war who are being given a particular prescription.
No,
yeah?
he didn't. He
that
didn't
the
say any of that.
prescription you
He did not say
I'm
any of that.
asking you, is that what you
He
said?
did not say any of that, Tony. He is simply agreeing.
Can I?
No, Tony. I just want to wrap.
We can ask
Please,
him what
Tony.
he
I want to keep it simple.
No,
I'm
you
going
want
to
to control the conversation. You don't want to keep it simple.
No,
you want to control it.
No, I don't.
You seem to be
I-
very controlling
My
and
dear
manipulative.
friend, my dear friend.
I want to have a conversation.
No,
You
don't
want to talk about
gaslight.
the
Don't
violence.
gaslight.
You want to talk
Don't
about the
gaslight.
violence about
I
Islam.
want to, but before that, I want to be polite
You're trying
to
to-
Tony. Very simply, Tony. Now, I'm going to say, I'm going to have a conversation with him on violence, and it
You
isn't
have a
going to.
conversation with him. Three of us having a conversation.
No.
we-
Tony,
No,
thank you.
You're trying to
Thank you. We can agree. We can agree.
I'm liking the idea of a three-way conversation.
That's exactly.
There
what
is
I'm
no-
saying. But he's trying to manipulate
There
and
is-
control.
So,
He's
no-
trying to control the narrative.
Okay, I think it's
Tony-
up to you. If I go, do you want to go as well, or
Yeah,
should we try
that-
three-way? I
Tony-
think we can do a three-way conversation.
We can have a-
There is no
Three-way
three-way conversation.
there actually
I'll let
is
you
a
know why.
three-way conversation.
I'll let
There's
you know
no
why.
way to-
I'll let you know why.
No, but who do you think you
Well,
are?
I'll let you know why.
Well, he's the guy with the camera crew.
That's
What
not the
camera
case.
crew? This is because
Don't gaslight.
He's not the
me.
only one that
No,
has a camera.
No, that's not. You're
You're
attributing
manipulating
motivation
and
to me.
controlling, and that's
You might
because you're
rather
scared.
want to hear me
You're
out.
scared
We're
to have an open
inviting you to
conversation.
continue a conversation
I heard that.
on this topic.
I heard that.
Okay.
But I'm going to now
And
respond.
I think we may be making a bit of progress at this point, but
But
your
we cannot have
definition
him
of what it says
manipulating
in there
and
seems to be
controlling the conversation.
your interpretation of that passage. I think you were saying is that it's a prescription to soldiers in the time
He
of
did
war.
not use the word soldier. He did not
So
use the
let's
word
ask him,
war.
let's ask him, let's
I
ask
don't.
him.
I just want to
Ask
let you
him
know,
about
Tony.
his
I don't want to. Let me put it this way.
Well, if you
now,
don't want to,
now
but we are
now
entitled to have a conversation.
the intent is to have a conversation about the Quran and the Bible About both you don't know, and that is the reality.
I know how,
and
to,
that is
I
when,
know how to
and
interpret things.
Thank you.
I know
I
context is
hear. I
important,
hear that's what
and
you're
I
saying.
want to hear if there's a.
You
guys
you
are
can
not
hear. You can
describing
hear.
it in the same context.
Tony, you can hear.
Are you?
I am. Thank you, Tony. Please listen. I have heard you. I have my evaluation. I'd like to comment to you. You don't know Al-Baqarah. You don't know At-Tawbah, which is fine. We had a conversation.
You're now being very
I haven't finished.
condescending.
I haven't
You're
finished.
being incredibly
I haven't finished.
condescending.
He
This
is condescending.
I haven't
Your
finished.
ability to
I haven't finished.
evaluate the facts
Rude.
you
I
have.
haven't finished.
I don't care if you
I haven't
finish.
finished. Okay.
Your
In that case-
You're not
your
in a church.
evaluation.
In that case,
You're
if
not
you're
in a
not,
church.
if you're not interested in hearing me
Because
out,
you're not sharing
I
the
heard
facts.
you out. If you're not interested in hearing me out,
Your evaluation of the facts is not very high quality.
Thank you.
You may have many facts, but your evaluation of them is not. You need
Thank
to
you.
find common ground with this guy and agree
Thank
on
you.
the interpretation
Thank you.
of the text
Thank
that
you.
you've just been advocating.
thank you. Which I'm going to do right now. Thank
Okay.
you very much, Tony.
Okay, well, I
so,
can ask this guy.
so this gentleman is here
Do you want to now
now.
do him solo or not?
I'm happy for us to have a conversation maturely without
Yeah.
being controlled and manipulated.
Sure, sure. If you want to
Now,
engage
it-
with me,
it- it-
I'm
in
not.
terms of
I'm
the
here.
conversation.
Let's have a conversation right now.
I'm happy. I'm interested and happy to be a third party and mediate this because I think
That's
watching,
fine. I'm happy
watching
with you
Christians
mediating.
and Muslims
I'm happy for
actually
you to
having a
mediate
constructive conversation is a good thing.
Yes.
And I'm not sure that you relish that possibility, but you shouldn't. You should embrace it.
Do you believe in free choice? Do you believe in that?
Absolutely.
Did you hear?
You have
didn't
the choice not to participate,
You're not
but
even
then
letting
when
me
you
speak right now.
rationalize it-
You're not letting me speak even now. Even now you are interjecting every now and then, and I'd like to
We're trying
comment
to
to you.
lecture. You're
If
not
you'd
in a
like to
church.
hear
It's a
my free
conversation.
choice, I am here. I am here. If you'd like to hear my free choice, I know you have said you are able to reason. I don't want to comment any further on that. All that I am going to say is I gave you a hearing and I have my assessment. I have an assessment right now, which is that you don't know the Quran. And I would like to comment to you, when you don't know the Quran, Tony, instead of coming up with your own fancy ideas, you would much rather hear
Fancy
from.
ideas.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
an
a
insult.
You would
tradition.
much-
That's
This
an
is a
insult.
tradition.
I haven't finished.
That's an
I know,
insult.
but-
I haven't finished.
But how
When
long
are you
do you
gonna
have
finish
to?
insulting?
I
How
haven't
long
finished.
do you pontificate for?
I haven't finished.
You just, I know.
I haven't
I know
finished.
it's an
You're
eternal
just full of it.
problem.
I haven't finished.
Because you don't.
I haven't
synopsize.
finished.
I know.
I let you finish
Just
as
no,
I am
no,
a
no,
Christian.
no. I haven't-
I let you finish.
No.
But when I speak, you're not letting me finish, which is something you
Because
might want to learn
preaching.
from a Christian.
You don't,
Play
you
back-
don't
Please.
understand the
play back the
difference
tape.
between
Yeah,
preaching
don't
and
worry.
saying-
Everyone
how
would play back.
much airtime he took.
Sure,
trying
thank
and
you.
how much airtime other people have had.
Thank you.
And you will see that
Sure,
he has
sure.
occupied
Thank
a
you. Now
massive
can we
amount of
agree?
This one is not about preaching.
I am
it's
not
about
interested
conversation.
right now in furthering this
corner.
conversation.
Because you are losing badly.
Thank
Oh
you.
yes, yes, yes.
That's your assessment?
Yes.
Everyone would watch? Thank you very much. Now to Abdullah, the question is simple. If you want to discuss,
Do you still wanna
if you want to discuss, why
Sorry.
why are you
gonna decide
panicking
how
on
to
his
go
behalf?
now. You want to do this or not?
Why are
I
you
want to do
panicking?
a three-way conversation. I'm
Sure,
quite
sure.
happy for that.
Would you like to
If I
have a
go, you
one-way,
still gonna
two-way
do one?
conversation right now?
As I said multiple times before,
Yeah.
I'm happy to have a three-way conversation.
So two-way, would you want to or not? I know you're happy with the three-way.
All right, let's-
Two-way, would you like to have or not?
Can I
running
respond? Can I respond?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Two-way.
running- you're
But the
running
question
away.
is about two-way.
I
Yes.
heard your question multiple times.
Sure, sure. You
You
commented
guys
about
can
three-way.
see
I
this
want your
guy
comment
is
about the
running
two-way.
away from
Let me know when you
continuing
finish.
the conversation.
Just
yeah?
let me know when you finish.
He's running away, yeah? He's running away from
Right.
continuing the conversation.
We're gonna do. I will do both. I will do a three-way and I'll do a two-way.
No, it
Keep
doesn't work.
everyone happy.
No, no. Listen to me.
What does no mean?
The way it
What
works.
does no mean? I'm saying you asked me a question. I'm saying I'm happy to have a three-way conversation, and if you wish to have a two-way, one-to-one, I'll do a one-to-one with you also.
Yeah.
But now we're happy to have a three-way conversation.
I am not.
You don't
So
want to.
maybe you're not hearing properly.
All right.
Okay.
And therefore you
Position
might
is-
want to hear properly right now.
He is now running away from continuing with me.
Sure.
But he thinks he will be able to
You're
demonize you a bit better on the camera.
Yeah. Sure.
You guys see how it plays out. When you play the tape back, watch how much time he spent talking relative to me. When you play it back, notice that all I did was defend the 5 pillars and the fitra, and that was it.
No,
and
what
I
you
condemned all of the other stuff about apostasy, which, no offense, I do. I think apostasy is not correct. Of killing people who are non-Muslims, I condemn that.
Yeah, yeah.
My position is very coherent and
I
simple, and
understand
it's a
that.
tradition. There are core teachings in Islam I would applaud. Anybody who can't applaud those, I don't think they're being objective or fair-minded. There are also tenets in Islam I have an issue with, and I think it's reasonable to critically object to them. I'm trying to do both, and that same critique
very
applies
fair.
to
Very
Christianity
fair.
and Judaism
respect that
and
fairness.
any other religion, okay?
You're very fair.
I'm
And
happy.
I like to discuss on that basis. If
I'm
you're
happy with your last word.
If you're capable of engaging at that level of intelligence and inference, I'd love to continue. If you are simply going to keep falling back on the fact that you haven't read as many facts as I have, inevitably, no, I haven't. But I think your ability to evaluate the facts you've read is significantly substandard compared, no offence, with several other people's, including my own. The skill of this discussion, of debating, is primarily about evaluation of data, not having data. Anybody can assemble loads of facts.
Well said.
Computers can remember loads
Awesome.
of facts. An autistic person will remember millions of facts.
We need
But
more
an
of this in
autistic
Speaker's
person's
Corner.
ability to put them in a hierarchy of meaning and spot contradictions and so on and seek to move
Awesome.
forward.
Well said, my
That's
friend.
based on evaluation. That I can do.
Well said.
Thank you for the last word.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Now you gave me that.
Thank you.
Dismissing you.
Good. Well,
He's
hang on.
dismissed.
Give
No,
it-
as a Christian,
He's
I am
dismissing
allowing
him.
everyone to speak like
No,
I
you're
normally do.
dismissing
Thank you
Now,
very much.
Because you let me finish and say that, thank you for hearing it. I will shake your hand.
Thank you very much.
Okay?
God's blessings,
Thank you.
Tony. We had a lovely
Good luck with
conversation.
this conversation.
Sure.
Oh, I would like you to stay.
I'd like to, but I think he really doesn't want to, as I just described. But good luck with it. Okay? Let's chat afterwards, yeah? Off camera.
All
Good
right.
luck with the discussion.
Sure. So you want to discuss on how 10 minutes quick discussion on whether the Islamic whether God of the Bible, Yahweh, is as evil as the Islamic Allah. We both, so two very important right now, the phrasing. I'm here, Abdullah. I'm here. Very important. I challenge you, two important points. The Islamic Allah's edict is clear. On religious grounds and on religious grounds alone, he wants the Muslims to kill non-Muslims. Very simple. That is evil, deplorable. And I challenge you, you would not be able to show one place in the entire Bible, where Yahweh, Jesus, sanctions killing of anyone on religious grounds at all. You will not find any such, and that is the beauty of God of the Bible. So tell me, do you know of one place where God of the Bible employs or asks people to employ violence only on religious grounds? Do you find one place? Which is what the Islamic Allah does.
If not,
You've been quiet right now.
yes.
You can begin.
I enjoy the peace. However,
Yeah, this is the best piece you can get from a Muslim. Please go ahead.
However, before we start the conversation, can we agree on some kind of terms and conditions? And that means to say, number one, we can speak equally and we will not be disrespectful and rude to each other. Now, the conversation I agree to have with you is that the God of the Old Testament and the God of the Quran and the God of the New Testament exhibit violence. The God of the Abrahamic faith is a God that exhibits, he sanctions at certain times violence. And I'm quite happy to explain what that means. So there's divine violence. Violence is considered divine and it's orchestrated by God and God alone. So there's divine guidance, violence. There's violence in which God commands his prophets to fight. And that's well documented in the old scriptures, in the Old Testament as well as in the New Testament. And Islam recognizes that God of the Abrahamic faith exhibits and he sanctions different types of violence. Number one, so there's violence in nature in which God himself, is only God can exercise those types of violence. So when the flood of Noah
Are you
flood of
discussing terms right now?
Sorry.
I thought you said you wanted to discuss
All right,
terms.
let's go with the terms then.
You're confused already.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Yeah, clearly.
Yes. Number one, I just want to say in the terms, if you referring to my religion, which is Islam or the Quran, I ask you not to be rude or disrespectful.
Okay. Now, listen
And
to me. Listen to me.
Am I speaking or you speaking?
You were speaking so long.
Exactly. So if
No, you
you
were speaking for long, very long.
want me to stop speaking?
Well, too much already.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
You might-
So if you want to discuss terms,
You want to take?
you might.
Well, he asked a
Don't
very
be
specific-
terrified.
Sorry?
He asked a very specific
Don't be
question
terrified.
I have the answer
No,
to.
he is confused. He doesn't even hear to
The
the.
claim I am making,
No,
everyone knows that thing.
Here,
That
here.
the God of the Old Testament
Please
and the New
turn
Testament
around.
is the God of
Turn
violence.
around. Turn around.
We all know that.
Turn around. Would you? Are you running away now?
Sorry?
Are you running away right now?
About what?
Are you running away right
I
now?
was going to give you. You can.
So
you can
what
continue,
exactly-
don't-
No, that's fine.
How
I'm
how
quite
exactly
happy
do we
for you
discuss?
This is the
to make
proof.
them
How
This is the
how
proof
exactly
to
do we
answer his
discuss
question.
what you?
Fine.
What is the name for what you're doing right now? Walking away?
I'm not running away. I'm not
You.
running away.
I know
I'm not
he
running
isn't,
away.
but you. Is that walking away? Sneaking away? How do we call
I'm
that?
not- you can call it what you- I'm not running away. Do you
Nas,
run
you
away?
are here. Maybe Nas, Tony.
You asked the question.
No, Nas, no.
He asked the question.
Nas, no,
where in the Old
Nas,
Testament?
sorry.
He asked the question.
Tony,
Where in the Bible
Tony,
does
I
God prescribe
entertained you.
violence?
I entertained
You're
you.
not
Na-
entertaining me.
Tony.
So-
Tony, let me be clear.
Here we go. Samuel 1, book 15:3. Now
Listen to
go
me.
attack the
Do you
unbelievers
appreciate?
and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put them to death. The men, the women, the children, and the infants, the cattle and the sheep, the camels and the donkeys, and keep the virgin girls alive for yourself. That's Samuel 1, book 15:3. Fact check.
Let's
it
read,
yourself
let's-
now.
yeah, let's-
So, if his question
No,
was,
no, hey, whoa.
where in the
You're
Bible
even
does
pushing
God
me
prescribe-
physically.
I'm not pushing you at all.
What are you doing?
Okay, don't even fake that, mate. I'm not doing that in the
It
slightest.
was on camera.
Okay? If that is pushing, you are the most fragile human being on the planet.
Yeah. So if
Right.
you would like,
Deuteronomy
can we read that?
13:6-10,
Can we read that?
Kill anyone.
Can we
even
read that?
Your own family.
Can we read that?
If
Excuse me,
I'm
can we
finishing this
read?
So you can hear it first.
No,
Yes,
no,
we
no,
will.
no. Can we do one?
Kill
Wow.
anyone, even your own
Can we
family if they
read?
worship
Can
another
we
god.
read?
That's two on the road.
Can we read?
Carry on.
What was the first reference, sir?
Samuel 1, book 15:3.
1 Samuel 15:3.
3. Excuse me. I need now my bag. Sorry.
Can you show me? Would you be kind enough to show me your printout?
My printout says.
Yeah. Can you
And if
please
it's
read?
inaccurate,
One second.
I
One
did.
second.
I will read it
One
again.
second. Yeah. Wait. 1 second. Yeah.
You asked me to read it. So
Yeah.
I'll
Please.
read it.
Please read that.
Then
Please.
I was. You keep saying please read it and stopping me from reading it. Let me read it. Okay? If so, now go, attack the unbelievers and totally destroy all that belongs to
Enough.
them.
Enough.
No,
That's
you
enough.
want to read it. Do
No. That's
not-
enough for me.
Do not. It's enough for you, but it's not enough for the
That's
story.
enough for me.
It's not enough for the audience. Do not spare them. Put to death the men and the women, the children, the infants, the cattle and the sheep, the camels and the donkeys, and keep the virgin girls alive for yourself.
I told you earlier, Tony is clueless about. No, wait.
Fine.
Tony is clueless about the Quran, and I also gave an indication that he might be clueless about the Bible. Look at his mouth. I don't know where you got this verse from. Let's read this. 1 Samuel 15:3. What does it say? According to his printout, clearly it comes from some Muslim source. Now go attack the unbelievers. Unbelievers.
He's going to take
And
issue
to-
that it's a name of
Can
a
I
tribe.
speak right now?
It's academic.
Can I speak right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Don't panic.
I'm not panicking
Okay.
at all.
Okay. The way a conversation works.
I'm not panicking, and I don't need a lecture on a conversation. Tell them what you're going to tell them.
In which case,
You're
if you
being
don't
condescending.
interject,
Dude, I'm not interjecting.
if you don't
Carry on.
interject-
I'd be quiet. Carry on.
you are not quiet,
Carry on.
and therefore, one more time, if you interject, I'm going to move on.
Carry
So let's read. Now go. What does the Bible actually say? Now go and attack Amalek, not unbeliever. Amalek. Do you know anything about Amaleks, Tony? Do you know when they began their interaction with the people of Israel? Do you know? Do you know?
That's a serious question.
Of course it is. Of course, if you need to have an evaluation, you need to know what really happened. Do you know when Amaleks began to interact with the nation of Israel? Do you know?
My understanding, not that it's central to this question, don't be deceived. is that the Amalek were a tribe who were particularly hostile to the Israelites, who the situation became so violent that for the survival of the Israelites, it could be argued that they needed to deal with them very dramatically and very violently. Okay?
Yeah, so
that's my understanding of them. However,
no, there is no however. There is no wow. This clueless man, the clueless man,
do not be deceived by what he is saying. The
clueless man is going to now give an expert opinion whilst remaining clueless. Do you know what happened with Amalek?
That he is advocating. I don't care who you're advocating killing. If you're advocating, I don't care if they're Amalek, unbelievers, Jews, whoever the hell they are, any prescription to kill the men, the women, the children and the infants is abhorrent, full stop. And trying to play with the small print of, well, it was the Amalek and it's okay to kill their babies, forget it. That is totally contrary to, say, the Sermon on the Mount and all core Christian prescription. I don't know how you could defend a passage like this or try and weasel your way out of it by making out that the difference between the word unbeliever and Amalek has any pertinence to the ethical relevance of this. This is clearly an example of the Old Testament where the God of the Old Testament is advocating for violence. Now,
so
I do not condemn the whole of the Bible for that,
not
but
interested.
I'm not lying enough to ignore its presence.
Not interested. The gentleman...
Well, you can decide if you're interested. I think this is relevant.
You've spoken enough.
I think I've spoken.
You've spoken enough. You might want to hear the other side, to grow in knowledge.
Well, then
which if you don't you are panicking by definition. Thank you very much. You have spoken. You have spoken. When you spoke... When you spoke, I heard.
Let's get a clock.
When you spoke, I heard. When I speak, you are interjecting. So please.
Get a clock.
So the problem.
Get a clock.
Okay. In which case?
Do you want a clock? Are you afraid of a clock?
I'm really not. So look,
Are you
Tony.
afraid of a clock? Is this guy afraid of a clock? If he's not afraid of a clock,
look at him. Even
I'm more than happy to share the time on a clock, and you can
wait
hear what we have
and
to say.
hear if you would even hear one statement from me.
He doesn't want a clock.
He doesn't even let me complete one statement.
I will use a clock, and you'll get a full 2 minutes.
Can I now finish? You said a lot. Can I now respond? Thank you. Now, very simply, the gentleman here, Tony, he would like us to think there is not a difference at all between a verse that says, in his, wherever he picked that up from, kill unbelievers. Show me one verse like that in the Bible, kill unbelievers.
Unbelievers. Okay.
And I read to him and said, no, that doesn't say kill unbelievers, it says kill Amalek, which is a particular tribe and there is a particular historical context. And that is where I would like to think that Tony...
Yeah, you're right. Killing babies is fine, mate. I'm totally misunderstood. I'm so sorry. I'm so fucking
You
stupid.
see, I told you.
I think
he is brave, too brave.
He's right.
He would not even let me finish my point.
He's right. Killing babies and infants.
Listen to him and see if he wants me to finish my point.
Really cool.
He's using the
As long as there are
see me,
particular
see him
Amalek.
and see if he'd like me to finish my point. He would not.
You're comfortable with killing babies, yes?
Are you comfortable letting me finish my point? Are you comfortable?
Go on a clock. I'm more
Not
than
interested.
happy for you to finish your point.
Look, I'm
If you
really
go
not
on a
interested.
clock,
I have my view of
I
you.
get the feeling you're about to run away.
I have me.
Yeah. Yeah.
My evaluation
I
of
think
you.
you're about to run away, 'cause
My
I think
evaluation
you are
of you.
now on the road.
My evaluation of you.
I'm asking you
My
to
evaluation of
condemn
you.
killing babies.
My evaluation of
You're
you
not gonna-
has
I don't
plummeted.
care.
Plummeted.
This Tony. Now I have plenty of reasons to avoid him. The challenge I posed to Abdullah before he ran away was very simple. Abdullah suggested that God of the Bible is the same in terms of being evil like the Islamic Allah. The Islamic Allah is quite obviously evil. Surah 60, Ayah 4. Surah 9, Ayah 111 to 114. Surah 2. Multiple places. Thank you very much, Tony. Multiple places, the Islamic Allah is clear that he wants the Muslims to kill non-Muslims merely because they are non-Muslims. It's a very simple theological point. If a God would ask the Muslims to go and kill non-Muslims just because they are non-Muslims, I trust that we can all agree that that is an evil God. So we can agree that the Islamic Allah is evil. Very, very clear. It's black and white. And that is where the Abdullah gentleman who ran away quite quickly, and the Tony here who is clueless, who is struggling right now, the challenge I present to both or any other Muslim is simple. If any of you think, that God of the Bible is someone like this, like the evil Islamic Allah, my challenge is this: God of the Bible never commands the nation of Israel to go and kill someone else just because they are non-believers of the God of Israel. It never happens. God of the Bible executes judgment on multiple occasions. You find that in relation to, thank you very much. You're now touching, you're now, fine. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now if you can move. I've said, I've told you multiple times, thank you. This is the challenge. If you're a Muslim who is watching, thank you. Thank you. Look, I have given up on you. Thank you. That's your evaluation. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sure. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Sure. Now, if there is a Muslim, when you go home, this is the, don't panic. When you go home, the homework, don't be lazy, be prepared to do the homework. When you go home, the homework is simple. For Abdullah, for John Fontaine, for Paul Williams, for Masur, the massage parlor worker, and Hashem, and for anyone else, the challenge, and for you, my dear friend, or for anyone else, the challenge is simple. And Abbas, who is hiding behind the crowd there, to everyone, the challenge is simple. The challenge is this: the Islamic Allah is evil by virtue of the fact of his commandment to make the Muslims kill non-Muslims on religious grounds. You would not find God of Israel asking either Israel as a nation and Jesus Christ asking the Christians as a community to go and kill outsiders because they do not believe in this God. You will not find that. That is the marvelous difference. I serve a God who is worthy of respect, worthy of honor. The God of Islam is terrible, and therefore leave Islam. Unless you are confused like Tony, utterly clueless, could not put together a few facts together, and doesn't even have the Bible properly, doesn't know where to get a copy of the Bible from, doesn't know that. Thank you. Thank you very much, Tony. Thank you. Lovely.
She disgraces her
Keep it up.
father. She must be
Lovely, love. Thank you.
alive.
Thank you. Marvelous. All. Sure.
The Old Testament has some very violent prescriptions. He is running from
One last time.
like crazy.
One last time.
Adjudicate it to yourself.
One
fact
last
check
time.
it yourself,
Sure.
And he will not.
Can we do
engage
time?
in
Just
a
one last time.
discriminating analysis
Just
of
3
religion
minutes.
where
Just
you
3 minutes.
separate the wheat from the chaff and acknowledge that there are problematic elements in these books.
Tony,
but they have a lot of good
this
stuff.
is the one last.
Suddenly you want to re-engage.
That's
me.
fine.
No.
Okay, fine. That's fine.
If
Clock.
you want to re-engage,
3 minutes. On 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Just 3 minutes, and then I need to go.
Oh, you're
3
in
minutes.
a hurry. You're in a hurry. Where you got to be?
Look, speaking to you is a waste of time.
No.
That's my evaluation.
This is going just fine. You are now actually going to engage
Listen
in a
to me.
debate.
That's what
where
you
we
think.
Have a clock.
Sure.
Let's get the clock.
But no.
Who's got a
Listen.
clock?
Listen.
Who's got a clock?
Don't
I
panic.
need to.
Listen.
There's
Don't
no
panic.
panic
Listen.
here, mate. Who's got a
I
clock?
am done with you.
Who's got a clock?
All that I'm going to do is just one last 3 minutes. If you don't want to take that up, that's fine. I'm going. Thank you very much. Thank you. God's blessings to you all. No one has got a clock. Thank you very much. Should we go?
None of you? Oh, well, I've got a clock. Here we go. Off
But
you go.
listen.
Off you go.
Clearly you are not civilized,
I'm very
and therefore,
civilized.
in which case, listen.
I'm very civilized.
In
I
which
wanna
case,
share
listen.
a clock. It's a very civilized
In which case, listen.
suggestion. So let's be civilized and share a clock.
Listen.
Talk.
I have to go.
Right, because
Of various reasons, I don't have to explain to you.
you don't have to.
Okay,
but
listen.
there will be
No.
an
You
inference
You
that maybe you're just running away.
You said
perceived to be
because,
running away.
and I'm responding right now. You would not even, as a civilized man, give me a hearing, and therefore, please listen.
Been
One last
talking
time.
constantly for the last 10 minutes.
You keep interjecting. Please listen.
Because you've been talking. Play the
Please.
tape back. He's been talking constantly. for 10 minutes.
Don't. Is that
So
something?
we're going to share a clock.
No,
Do you want
please,
to share a clock?
please listen.
Do you want to share a clock?
Please listen. Please listen.
How long are you going to get on with it?
Okay.
Get on with it. Be pithy.
You're-
Be concise.
Sure.
Okay. I'm not going to listen to you filibuster and rant for hours. If you've got something to say it concisely. Be to the point. I'm challenging you to talk on a clock. Either accept the challenge and have a decent discussion so the audience can see and hear both of us and compare our ideas, or don't. Okay. Now, please talk. What do you got?
That's a plenty of rambling already. You're talking about being concise. Listen right now.
Go on.
I give you a hearing when you speak. That's what a civil man does because I am a Christian. When I speak without interjecting, listen. I have an experience with you, and my respect for you has plummeted down.
I don't care.
Don't interject. I am still speaking. And therefore, I am giving up on a conversation with you for a longer period of time. All that I have is a simple offer. If you would like to take it, 3 minutes you speak, 3 minutes I speak. We can do, I don't mind if you go first, if I go first, I don't mind who goes first. Only 3 minutes each, and then I have to go for multiple reasons, like I said earlier. Would you like to do that?
Yeah.
Sure. Just 3 minutes each. Did you want to go first? Should I go first?
Off you go.
Okay. So let's do.
However, we do need somebody with a clock.
He's got a clock there.
Also, hang on, wait. Now we've calmed down and now we've got separate spaces. I think it'd be more constructive if we did 2 minutes each and we did two, and that way we can react to each other.
He's
Yeah?
speaking a lot. Sorry.
I'm suggesting
Say again.
2 minutes each.
Yeah.
No,
Simply.
I'm accepting. No, I made the offer of going on the clock, not him. I think we should go on the clock, but I think you'll get more from it if we do 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes.
Yes.
2 minutes. Do you want to do 2 minutes each?
Listen to me.
Do you want to do 2 minutes each?
I said.
And he only wants to do 3 minutes. Do your 3 minutes.
He asked me a question, but would not even wait for an answer.
Do you want to do 3
Hey,
minutes?
whoa. You asked. No, I have no reason to even listen to your question.
What timing do you want to take?
But please, is there a
minutes
neutral?
or two?
Did you ask me? You are asking me?
I would prefer 2 minutes.
You're speaking
each
too much.
Twice.
You asked me
I'm
a
telling
question.
you what
Can
I
I
would
respond?
prefer. What timing?
Can
do you
I
want?
respond?
Yes, quickly. What do you want to do?
He is commenting that I should speak quickly while ba.
No,
Listen.
now you're being rude, and if
Listen.
you're going to be rude, this conversation
Can
won't
I-
work.
thank
do
you.
you want to have a 3 minute conversation or two 2 minute ones, which I propose?
Sure. I
Which?
reject.
Which?
I reject.
You reject two.
Yes.
Do 3, get on with it.
Yeah.
Get on with it, 3 minutes, off you go.
So if he wants to speak, he can. And if I want to speak, he'll just dictate terms. 3 minutes each.
3 minutes, go. Who's got a clock?
Okay. You go first if you want to go first. Thank you.
I don't particularly want to go first. Right now, I'm
That's
checking
fine,
what
you
I've
can-
got here so I can check it back.
Yeah, well, please go ahead.
Oh, no,
When
neither
you-
of us wants to go first.
No, I can go first if you like, but I...
Go ahead.
Sure. All right. 3 minutes each. Very simply, Tony's suggestion is that God of the Bible is evil and violent like the Islamic Allah. We have both established through our conversation and conversation with Abdullah, very simply, that the Islamic Allah is evil and violent. What is violence? The very definition of violence is using physical force which is unwarranted. You cause trouble when there is no need to cause trouble. And that is exactly what the Islamic Allah does. It is recorded in multiple places. Surah 60, Ayah 4. Surah 9. Surah At-Tawbah, Ayah 111 to 114. Very simply, in both places, and there are multiple other places, the point is made where the Islamic Allah asks the Muslims to go kill and do nasty stuff to non-Muslims just because they are non-Muslims. That to me is evil and violent. This is the textbook definition of violence. Let them live their lives. They don't like you, they don't want to take you. Leave them alone. What does Islam do? No, no, no. We don't care if you like me or not. We will come and kill you if you don't like me. That is Islamic Allah. Now we can all agree, if we are sensible, unlike Tony, that this is an evil God. In contrast, I challenge out of the million places which Tony has copy pasted without knowing where he has taken his material from, I challenge him to show me one place where God of the Bible has used violence. Note carefully, the definition of violence is not from Tony, it's from the language English. The definition is using physical aggression which is unwarranted. And I challenge him to show one instance where God of the Bible commands either Israel or the Christians to use violence against, in the case of Israel, people outside of Israel, on the basis of religion, unwarranted. You will not find this at all. Likewise, I challenge you to find one place where Jesus has asked the Christians to use violence against non-Christians. You will not find. Unfortunately, 30 seconds, yeah. Unfortunately, people like Tony, they haven't got a clue. They don't have intelligence at all. They don't know the difference between unwarranted physical aggression versus judgment. God of the Bible never uses. If Tony wants to contradict, he just needs to show one place, just one place where God of the Bible asked people who followed him to use unwarranted aggression towards the outsiders. Thank you.
You had your three?
Once again, yes.
Yeah?
Ready?
Okay, fine. So, to repeat, he challenged me to say when the God of the Bible has said to use aggression. I think he's probably pivoting it on the word unwarranted, so that when I give this answer, he would then counter-argue, oh, that was warranted. You can decide what level of violence you think is warranted, but the prescription that I read from Samuel 1, book 15:3 reads, and I'll happily accept his correction, it's one Bob's also pointed out, it's frankly academic to me, and I think most reasonable-minded people, as to which particular group of people you're committing a genocide on. My problem is with the genocide, not with which particular tribe it is. However, the line reads, now go attack the Amalek, thank you for correcting me, and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them, put to death men and women, children and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys, and keep the virgin girls alive for yourself. Okay? That is one of numerous examples I could read. Now, it can't help but strike me this seems to run rather contrary to the Sermon on the Mount, which I totally approve of, which I take to be the heart of Christianity, which speaks to treating thy neighbor as thyself. Yeah? I think a right-minded person should reflect on the apparent dichotomy between the core prescription of Christianity and this particular prescription. And when you grapple with it, some of us, and I am not the only person in this tradition, have reached the conclusion that maybe I've got to give the priority to the Sermon on the Mount, and maybe I've got to condemn certain peripheral things like this, which are inherited as baggage from the Old Testament. I also totally acknowledge that there are equally negative and violent prescriptions within the Quran, which I would also condemn. But I'm trying to draw people's attention to the commonality of things like the fitra in Islam and the 5 pillars, which are common to most religions, including Christianity. Christianity prescribes prayer, so does Islam. Good practice. They prescribe giving charitably. Good practice. They prescribe going on pilgrimages, which is a very good psychological practice. They prescribe fasting, which is excellent discipline, and it helps you to empathize with starving people and to appreciate what you had. There are common denominators in his religion and the Islamic religion and other religions which will steer people towards healthy psychological practice so profound, I can't help but suspect it might be divinely inspired. Universalists such as myself, we're coming from that terrain, okay? So I'm sorry that this has become so fractious, because I really do think there is real merit at the heart of Christianity and Islam, but you've got to do a bit of work to find it, and you've got to be honest about it, and you've got to steelman your own position and look for the arguments which contradict your own beliefs. But these guys, for the most part, they're not doing that. They're not inspecting. So I've had my three.
Thank you.
Well said, John.
Thank you much. Thank you, Tony. Finally, thank you. Thank you much. So, very simply, the conclusion is clear. Evil Islamic Allah. Evil Islamic Allah versus noble Yahweh. The choice is clear. The choice is clear. So, everyone, it's up to you. You choose. God of the Bible judges. Islamic Allah employs violence. That's the difference. God of the Bible is going to judge again. Islamic Allah desperately tries violence in the meantime. So the choice is yours. The choice is yours. The choice is everyone else. And John Fontaine, don't run away next time. Come prepared to engage. Hashem. Hakim. Hakim, please come here.
Because the fight's worth fighting.
I'm not with this guy completely.
You got to try.
Well, God bless you.
Sure, sure. Hakim, are you same running away? Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, cool. Thank you very much. God's blessings. Thank you. Come to the precious Lord Jesus. Give up on Islam. Thank you. Tony, you better learn the Quran properly. You better read.
Hang on, no. Wait. That's
Better read.
That's not a polite way to talk to somebody. We're not on camera anymore, okay? If you just...
Don't worry.
It just isn't.
Tony, don't worry. When you don't know, just don't come to an evaluation. It's not good.